What's up, eyeball?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
All right, a little tired of not doing service calls all day.
Yeah, raking in the moolah, huh?
I'm trying to, not much. I mean, it's slow, but I should be able to get above water. That's the good thing. I'm getting ready to open that P.O. box.
Yeah.
For that evidence deposit.
Yep. Federal docket number.
Yeah, there you go.
That's where your location information is located at. Want to find out what that information is? Go to this location. That's the clearing office.
In the nation.
Yep.
And it ain't no imagination.
No, that's electronic record, baby.
Yeah. How do you make claims against it? How do you rate?
Well, the electronic record, like
how do
I said,
how do you issue script against it?
you don't. You rebut their script. Their script is commercial paper. Everything's electronic credit transfers now. So every time they try to issue a commercial paper, you rebut the commercial paper through the electronic form, proving that there's already a credit transfer in operation.
Right. Yeah. You're going to have to use your signature then, right?
No, I'm going to talk to a medallion stamp banker tomorrow.
Yeah, I was wondering if you'd done that yet.
1 o'clock tomorrow.
Cool, man. Like a for real medallion officer?
Yeah.
Really?
She's been dealing with my companions banking for years. She's been a federal employee through the public education system.
That's
So we're going to go in and talk to the medallion stamp banker and see if we can't get her records corrected, because it's official that she's retired. So they should no longer be asserted in the public forum as a public servant.
You going to record it?
No.
Oh, come on, man.
No, I can't.
Why?
That's the part of the non-disclosure. All I can do is bring my evidence. I can't bring her privity into it. See, we always got to remember that. We've got to operate in that privity at all times.
Well, I know. I'm used to it. It's a special circumstance, man. This is a learning experience.
Well, no, there are certain things that I'll be able to bring to the forum, like the questions that I ask her in regards to verification of the information that I already know, or new information that she gives me that I may not know. So we can come back and say, okay, well, this is how it actually works. I was close or I wasn't or whatever. And that's the whole purpose of it. I'm not going to bring any private details, but the actual public information of how the process works.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to expose.
Will you be able to issue credit through the bank once this special depository is set up?
Correct. As her trustee, I'll be able to operate.
We can go on our own computer and enter our ones and zeros.
Exactly. So that's the basis of it, is getting your electronic record established. And that's why I've got that site established. It's already internationally recognized, and it's not a .com. I impress this upon everybody. Make sure you know what you're talking about or doing when you set up your site in regards to the domain extension. If you're involved in in certain ones, it's going to be in the commercial jurisdiction, which is exports and imports and stuff. So there's going to be taxation. Whereas if you're from the standpoint of the creator, the originator of the content in a artistic platform or a journal platform or a publishing platform, then you've got a higher degree of control. Whereas if you get to that .post, which is my eventual goal, is that's the top level domain, and that's where they incorporated these cybersecurity laws last year. That's for.
Can you name that anything, or does it have to be your likeness?
No, yeah, you can name it anything.
Anything.
I mean, mine, the keyboard and little faith-based unity, and that's just for now. I can change it if I want. I doubt if I will, because at every moment that they ever try to keyboard and little, it will always reflect.
Well, I mean, you can't change a registered domain name, you can get another one, but I don't think you should change it.
Right, and that's what I'm talking about. When I get ready to leave the .art domain, which I may not, I might just create another domain at the .post extension and have it associated with the same PMA.
You can add, I forget what level domain it is, but you can add other domain names in front of your original domain name. You know, like you do with .coms.
And
like,
so. And so tonight it's 8 o'clock, brother. So we're going to get started because there is a lot of material.
Yeah.
But so tonight in session 10 here, I said last time I wanted to talk. I wanted to talk about the Joint Chiefs of Global Tax, because that's what it's all about, is tax enforcement. And so let me, everybody sees my screen.
Quit violent.
And we're talking about Joint Chiefs of Global Tax Enforcement, which is known as the J5. And you notice it's under the IRS thing, www.irs.gov. So it's just the taxing authorities of each of these different joint chiefs or whatever, countries that are involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
Joint Chiefs of Global Tax Enforcement, known as J5, are committed to combating transnational tax crime. Through increased enforcement collaboration, we will work together to gather information. And this is what it's all about. All the information they gather through the electronic form that's then converted to the electronic book entry is an information gathering. And all those data elements are considered exports. Every last one of them. Share intelligence, conduct operations, and build the capacity of tax crime enforcement officials. So all those data elements that are considered exports, we have to correct that we're not exporting or importing. We have freedom of transit. And this is, when we go through all the 10 sessions so far, we've spoken about freedom of transit here and there, and we'll get more familiar with that because that's the main purpose, is we're not in the mail system. We're transiting our articles, our creations. We're dispatching them through the freedom of transit of franking privilege. Everybody's in peace. Just give it to the neighbor and he'll pass it on. So it ends up meeting a final destination. These guys are entering everything into the mail system, which is a commercial system. At the top level domains, we're going to be able to separate all of those securities from the customs. It's going to have security clearance. J5 is comprised of Australian Taxation Office, the Canada Revenue Agency, the Fiscal Enlightened and Officer, whatever, HM Revenue and Customs, that's Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. We talked about that before. And Internal Revenue Service Criminal Investigation. For more information, see Joint Chiefs of Global Tax Enforcement Successes, which we will see here shortly. And it says, please listen to a podcast with the chiefs from the UK, US, and Australia. We are convinced that offshore structures and financial instruments, where used to commit tax crime and money laundering, are detrimental to the economic, fiscal, and societal interests of our countries. Therefore, if we're not committing to financial instruments of imports and exports, then we cannot be committing tax crimes. Show where your tax is applicable if we are not importing and exporting, which is in direct relation to all of the electronic export information that you enter through, whether it be definitive paper form or the electronic book entry system. You're the ones giving it. Know the difference between whether it's your private information or it's their public information. If it's their public information, who gave you the authority to give it? Better ask them. Otherwise, you shouldn't be giving it. Shut the fuck up. We also collaborate internationally to reduce the growing threat to tax administrations posed by cryptocurrencies and cybercrime. And this is the one we're worried about, because that's where all of it comes from nowadays. Everything's transferred to electronic records. Even your MCOs, they convert them to the electronic record through microfilm first. And to make the most of data and technology. To actively bring about change, the J5 will develop shared strategies to gather information intelligence. If you're not giving it, they can't gather it. If they can't gather it, they can't resource it to its original destination or its original origin. Cut them off. Drive strategies and procedures to conduct joint investigations and disrupt the activity of those who commit transnational tax crime, cybercrime, and also those who enable and assist money laundering. I don't care if they're negligent in their duties and don't know how to enter the electronic data. If I tell them I don't have a name and they enter a first, middle, and last name, that's their onus. They're the one that exported that information as if though it was export information when I specifically told them it wasn't a name. Collaborate on effective communications. These people have to have communication skills. If they don't, then the information they put down is not warranted. Listen to my words. I speak specifically. That reinforce the J5 is working together to tackle transnational tax crime, cybercrime, and money laundering. Go on and read the rest of this. There's a bunch of links and stuff, but we're going to get on to the next one real quick. It says, this is the Joint Chiefs of Staff of Global Tax Enforcement Successes that we were just talking about. Inception. Leaders of tax enforcement authorities from Australia, Canada, and the Netherlands, the United Kingdom, and the United States established. So that's where they get their authority. Leaders of the tax enforcement authorities. Who's the tax enforcement authority? Congress shall lay and collect the taxes. This very Congress that they're talking about in regards to the United States, and the very same Congress in regards to the United Kingdom, the Netherlands, Canada, and Australia, those are all subject to the Congress of the Constitution of the Universal Postal Union under the Director General of the International Bureau of the Swiss Confederation. That's where your tax enforcement comes from. It doesn't come from your internal countries. Your tax enforcement leaders come from these countries and everywhere else around the world that assert any kind of tax authority. And they have to operate under the Constitution of the Universal Postal Union, the Uniform Customs Codes, the Treaty of Berne, and the Geneva Conventions, which established the law of nations, the Liber Code, the law of land warfare, mercantile law, Admiralty law, all of those others. Those are all just separate jurisdictions of one taxing authority. Congress shall lay and collect taxes. That's all it is. If they don't have the right to lay and collect a tax from you, then you are not subject to it. And all you have to do is figure out what that Constitution of the UPU, the UCC, and the Treaty of Berne and the Geneva Conventions all mean. It all means one thing: peace. Whereas all the others are just different jurisdictions of war. Admiralty, Maritime. Data sharing. During the 2 years since the J5's inception, there have been hundreds of data exchanges between J5 partner agencies, with more data being exchanged in the past year than the previous 10 years combined. They got a lot of catching up to do, and so do you. So do I. Working within existing treaties and laws. Within existing treaties and laws. Like I said, adopt the existing treaties and laws. ratify them by line item vetoing through the things that are not appropriate and overriding what is true in the now time. These are outdated documents. They're in reference to different bodies, body politics, body religions, body offices, multiple sources of information, multiple ports of data collection. You're going to combine it all down to one source, you. No one else has any authority. You are the plenary power. J5 countries are able to open new cases, develop existing cases faster. The existing case is the Social Security account, the birth certificate, and find efficiencies to reduce the time it takes to work cases. This is the correlation with the Postal One master trust account and assigning them the duty through the Postal Trust, which delegates all of the plenary contract powers to research and resolve the issue within 72 hours, period. That is contract law. Make sure this contract is valid or send it back for dishonor. Come at me again. It's an intentional act of war. Lessons learned. Offenders are embracing ever more complex methods to conceal their wrongdoings. Previous 10 years combined, and they're embracing it. Why don't you? Sun Tzu in The Art of War, to defeat one's opponent without fighting is of supreme excellence. Beat them on their own mat. Creating multiple mechanisms, what I just talked about, multiple jurisdictions and structures that are split across jurisdictions, taking advantage of those areas that offer secrecy and regulatory benefits. Regulatory benefits. I'm not seeking any regulatory benefits. I'm shutting them all down. Those regulatory benefits are doors and opportunities to black marketing. Black letter law. Look that up. That's their case law. It's called black letter law. The J5 is adapting to these changing behaviors to prioritize the collective operational activity. Well, if they're going to prioritize the collective operational activity, don't you think it deserves an equal and opposite force of prioritizing the giving of operational activity to tackle this dynamic threat picture? If they're taking the export electronic information, and that's what they're collecting for their operational activity, don't you think you can cut their activity off by not giving that electronic export information? I'm sorry, I don't have any electronic export information because I'm not buying and selling anything. It's all free. It's all public domain already. Here, let me show you where I found it. If you want to charge anybody, charge them. They're the originator of the content. Got it? FIOD hosted the first, what is FIOD? We'll find that out, huh? Hosted the first J5 challenge in Utrecht in 2018 and brought together leading data scientists, technology experts, and investigators. So it's all about data science and technology, internet technology. You correct that one record by giving it only one source for any information to ever be exported, and then just don't export it. Guess what? They don't have any charges they can place. None. You control that port. You're the entrepot, port of entry. If you don't let them beyond that port of entry, then nothing goes out, does it? Talks about building capacity. The United States and the World Bank. So now we're talking about banking operations. So we are talking commerce. Again, that's why I talk about the domain extensions. Get out of that commercial realm, and that prevents those data elements being inserted into the commercial realm through World Bank and United States and all those commercial entities to begin with. You're stating right off the bat, no, it's not commerce. It's just my artistic work, the good works of God. You can plainly tell that by the words I place in the site. And yeah, I speak boldly out against their statute codes and rules and regulations. I point out the inconsistencies. I let them know that I have no faith in their word anymore. None. So now let's go on to K4 Solutions. K4 Solutions is a site I found in regards to looking up people that help out the government in regards to their internet technologies. And this K4 Solutions is one of the top industries providers for healthcare solutions, secure networks and infrastructure when we're talking about cybersecurity, records management and governance, call center operations. Wait a minute here, call center operations. When we're talking about securities and everything, they all have to make a call warrant first. So all the information must be warranted in order to make the call. Comprehend this. Providing creative, agile solutions to the needs of our nation. They talk about nations, a fatherland. You're paying homage to a fatherland when in biblical scripture tells us there is but one Father which art in heaven. So the governance is based on their internet technology of export information, which is in regards to commerce, which is the person. He is the respecter of no persons. Don't give him a person. K4 provides trusted information technology, call center, and managed solutions to the federal government. Now, if they provide that to the federal government, do they provide competitive solutions to the private man? They better. Otherwise, wouldn't that be discrimination? Okay, so let's get on with it. We understand that there's no one-size-fits-all solution, and our extensive federal experience combined with our nimble team of experts enables us to tailor, as in details, our services to our clients' unique needs. So no one-size-fits-all solution. We must help them come together with a medium of minds for a solution to fitting the size of one, our size. We need no other. My yea is my yea. This is the way it needs to be done according to the word of our Father which art in heaven. All solution, We're skilled in listening to our clients and developing right-sized solutions to their most pressing challenges. Most pressing challenges. The key is to press numbered keys or other identifiers. That is the challenge. K4's corporate culture is grounded in substantial or sustainable best practices, a commitment to integrity, and a deep respect for our clients and employees. Our entrepreneurial-minded leaders approach each project from a place of service, knowing that they're in contract then. Embracing hard work, knowing that they're already obligated and responsible and liable. Embracing hard work, which must be the good works of our Father. Taking risks and remaining passionate about what we do. Our reputation for delivering results is evident in our customers' loyalty and our industry accolades. So let's talk about them services. Everybody can still see my screen, correct? Hello? Is there anybody out there?
Yes, can see it.
Thank you. So under services, it says using years of federal experience. Again, I ask if they're offering to the United States government or other governments around the nation, do they offer the same competitive services to the private individual, private man? K4 provides trusted information technology and management solutions to the federal government. We are committed to delivering exceptional results by exceeding client expectations. Capabilities statement. Agency admin, management, and support services, cleared personnel, and subject matter experts. Right there is the subject matter experts. We need to clear up the subject matter, private versus public. They go into contact tracing. This is the technology, people. And they talk specifically about we draw expertise from our 20 years of managing omnichannel, multilingual contact center operations successfully for various federal government agencies. This is something they've already done. 20 years, people. 20 years. Do you feel a little behind? Our robust framework, a nimble and effective flat organization structure, and a highly experienced team offers the government a reliable partner to mobilize resources at very short notice. Remember, I said 3 days. They have a responsibility to research and resolve within 3 days, 72 hours. It's contract term. Length of time is the term. Healthcare and contact center expertise. We leverage our relationship with healthcare experts. We leverage our relationship with healthcare experts. Do I need your healthcare experts? If I don't need their healthcare experts, can they leverage their relationship with healthcare experts? How much leverage does that get them? This is the problem with their insurance. Serving on our advisory boards. This includes, so it means excludes everything else, professionals from disciplines such as microbiology, pharmacy, general health care, among others. Our operations is backed by a PMO team that has a combined 40 plus years of contact center management expertise. Oh, so now they've got 40 plus years experience. Or expertise, I guess they call it, including supporting the CMS eligibility and verification program for the last 7 years. Checking Medicare eligibility. So when you apply for Social Security, they automatically classify you as a Medicare qualified government employee. First and foremost, know that.
They say it comes out of a trust.
Correct. It's called the Mark Trust.
SI, come out of a trust.
Yep, it's called the Mark Trust, Inc. MARC, capitals, all capitals, capital T, RUST, comma, capital I, lowercase n, lowercase c, period. Pull that up under an SEC filing.
It's not a benefit, it's an entitlement.
Correct. COVID-19 trained staff. Staff is in regards to Marine Corps staff, which the information must be warranted. Again, like I said earlier, remember the words that I speak. If you can put this all together, I spoke about the let's see here. Was it here? Yeah. Recommended warrant officer criteria. Postal officers are special staff officers. Staff officers are staff officers of Marine Corps who manage postal operations and postal service support at Marine Corps installations worldwide, and during contingency operations. Contingency operations are emergencies, national emergencies. So for this specific opportunity, we will provide COVID-19 certified operational staff who are aware on the pandemic context, approach to contact tracing, as well as the CDC recommended processes. So they're just recommended processes. Get that first and foremost. They can do nothing more than recommend, period. Additionally, due to the sensitive nature of remote contact tracing, our staff are also equipped with specific parameters on communication, such as active listening. This in regards to espionage laws, people. I'm sorry, I can't give that information out. It's not mine to give. I'm not licensed authority to do so. I don't hold a license one. And if I did, it wouldn't be authorized properly because I've never taken an oath of office to do such. You've created an impossibility. I highly doubt there is any proper and valid certification or license out there anywhere, period. I highly doubt it. I seriously question this concept. Empathy, rapport building, and soliciting information while maintaining the privacy and confidential aspects. Really, really. You're going to solicit information in a public venue by calling out a name? You mean you're going to tell me in solicit you're going to disturb, trouble, rouse, harass, stimulate, provoke, agitate, whole, entire, arouse, shake, excite, set in motion, entreat, petition to further business affairs, manage affairs? Where do you get your authority to do such thing? I come in peace. I am in peace. I'll leave in peace. You can have your war. I'm not part of it. So quit soliciting information while trying to maintain that I have some kind of privacy while you yell and scream your belligerent acts of accusations in public records, making an idiot and a fool of yourself. $8,700 and some odd dollars on a public record down at the local courthouse, they claim. Department of Treasury begs to differ. They concur with me, and I've concurred with them. Technology-enabled plug-and-play solution. Our staff are equipped with the necessary hardware, software, and infrastructure such as virtual private networks, dedicated high-speed internet, and reliable telephony systems. Remember that international telephone number, that's also an international electronic system of data collection. Our operational tools leverage technology to enable our supervisors to monitor the operations on a real-time basis, thus giving the government a better control on the program. If they can give the government control, can they not give the private man the same control? They can and do.
We are the government.
Yep, they have to. Now, I'd like to go into further details about things in these further pages, but one of the things I want to point out is I want to go back. Because down here, after we see information technology, program and project management, enterprise architect, network and systems engineering, web design and development, SharePoint development. We're not going to share anything. That's what we're talking about. One source of information location. If you can't clear my office, if my yay isn't my yay, then you have no say, period. Now, if you agree with my yay and my nay, then we can talk in the word of our Father which art in heaven. And that means we talk about what is true. We get rid of all this personal fictional bullshit. And it says managed service division, health administration support. We don't need their health administration support. We don't need their call centers. We don't need their document and records management. We just need their human resource solutions. And their human resource solutions are the North American industry code systems, whatever it is, North American industry classification systems codes. And these are all the new internet codes for the industrial classifications. I pulled them all up. And it shows us the industry comprises establishment primarily engaged in providing specialized telecommunications services, such as satellite tracking, communications telemetry, and radar station operation. That's going to be one of the NIAX codes that we're going to embed in the software of our .post sites when we establish that. So nobody else has our track. They can't use that contact tracing. It's one of those elements. We go on to the next one, data processing, hosting, and related services. They no longer have that. That's in our software on our .post site. And this is all by adopting this into our software. This industry comprises establishments primarily engaged in providing library or archive services. Freedom of information, people, come look at my records, but it is not imports and exports. Internet publishing and broadcasting and web search portals. Book publishing exclusively on internet, almanacs, atlases, dictionaries, encyclopedias, fictions. Directory publishing exclusively on internet, telephone, business. All public domain information done without buying and selling. You have a right to do so. Passing freely through every port because there is no charge. It's already in the public domain. The industry comprises establishment primarily engaged in providing other information sources, except news syndicates, libraries, archives, internet publishing and broadcasting, and web search portals. Does that sound like maybe other private information services? This industry comprises establishments primarily engaged in applying physical laws and principles of engineering in the design, development, and utilization of machines, materials, instruments, structures, processes, and systems. Your own laptop itself, you have the right to design your own operating system by incorporating, adopting your own North American industry classification codes in the security software. This industry comprises establishments primarily engaged in planning, designing, and managing the production of visual communication in order to convey specific messages or concepts, clarify complex information, or project visual identities. What a wonderful tool if you want to create your own symbols for your own alphabet. And I'm not going to have time to finish through going the rest of these. I'm going to open the rest of the board up for the rest of the Zoom here for questions and conversation. Please enjoy it. I need your input here. But I'll post all these links when I'm done, and everyone will have access to all those NIAX codes and everything I'm talking about as well.
Wow, man, I'm impressed. The culmination of all this research is finally coming together into a form that most people can duplicate.
Yeah, very easily. Very easily. And like I said, right now I'm going through BraveNet, and that's one of the most secure access sites for getting a domain extension because they have a high degree of security network in their software as well. That's what prompted me to start researching this, and that's how I ended up finding out about the .post. It's a top-level domain, and you set up your own cybersecurity system through the NIAX codes. You're the creator. Create your laptop.
Can you get .post extensions through BraveNet?
Not yet. I'm still on .art, but when like I said, I'm going to the medallion stamp banker to talk to her tomorrow. So I've got some specific questions in regards to electronic book entries that I want to talk to her about in regards to that.
Dot post has its own qualifications. I looked into it. You have to qualify to be able to get that extension.
Right, and that's why I say if you at least develop your own domain extension without a commercial extension on the private side as a creator content, you have that as a basis of comprehension for knowing that you have some kind of control. You already have the common sense of knowing that you don't want to be involved in commerce, so you picked a domain extension that doesn't involve commerce.
This is my shit, motherfucker.
We got about a minute and a half left, so like I said, I'm going to post all those links. Please ask any question you guys want right now. I know we went through a lot fast, but like I said, I'm going to post those links. You'll have plenty of time to research. And I hope you do, because I'm coming back again tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night. I'm doing Monday through Friday from now on. There's a lot of information. Hopefully now I can slow down. Help you guys comprehend it a little bit easier. Go ahead.
Is the domain extension going to set you up as like a financial institution in a way?
Actually, what it's doing is it's a security clearance. It's going to set you up as a clearance. You're going to be the one source that's going to clear every document that comes through that port. It's going to be your trading post. It's going to be, you're not going to import and export. You're going to stop it at the port. You're going to examine it and validate it yourself. If it's not valid, return to sender. No reason need to be given. Just return to sender.
Yes, you'll be able to issue credit.
Yes. This is going to be taking over the electronic record, which is the credit transfers. You're no longer going to have to worry about definitive paper forms. And if you do, you should have a channel of taking over that electronic form right away. Properly.
You are the bank.
It sounds like you become a clearinghouse.
Yes. You're the one that's going to clear everything.
Yeah.
No, my yay is my yay, my nay is my nay. No one else has authority to say so